Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Cultural Awareness, the podcast that allows you to travel across the world. All of this from the backseat of your car, the comfort of your home, or maybe your neighbor house. Who knows? Wherever you are, welcome. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. I'm your host, Big Steph. Welcome to another episode of Cultural Awareness. You know you are in Africa and we are about to make it look African for you. Okay, let me stop joking around. And welcome to this new podcast episode. Again, one more time, it's your host, Big Steph. And I know I'm smiling, but it's not such a smiling day because I just ran across this story. Usually I like to bring my own story from different sources that I hear, whether it's like on the internet, like whether it's from like back home. But today I actually just took this story on the internet, and I don't know if anybody else watched it. So we will go and dive in right away inside the subject. So this is a story of a woman who she had a daughter with another man first. And then she sent her child to be living with her mother, which is in this case the little girl grandmother. So now she found a man, she's living with a man, and they have a child together. They are not married yet, but they are living together and everything is fine. And the man knows that she has a child from, a previous relationship and whatever. So the grandmother, which is the mother of this lady in question, she died. And now the lady is forced to take her child from back home because there's no more anybody there. So she has to take her child and bring the little girl to come live with them. The little girl is 14 years old. I repeat, the little girl is 14 years old. So I don't even, that is a kid. I don't know. Is that even a kid, like teenager? That is literally a little girl, right? And so the little girl is living in the house with them and everything seems to be going fine. And then one night the lady turned around the bed, and she doesn't find her man. And because she doesn't find her man, she's like, where did he go? So she went to look all over in the house and she doesn't find him. And then when she opened her little girl's room and she see her man sleeping with this little girl of 14 years old. Oh my God. I repeat, he is sleeping with this little girl of 14 years old. And the lady calmly shut down the door and went back to sleep. And in the morning, she called the entire family of the man's side, mostly his father. And she explained the problem to him, like, how is this even possible? And the man started apologizing and saying that, oh, it was the first time, he didn't really do anything. But you can't tell people what you didn't do if they saw it with their own eyes. Like, that is not even possible. And the lady said, I know what I saw, and I saw you sleeping with my daughter. So we have to address this issue. And right now, the lady is writing because she doesn't know what to do. Because when she brought it upon the family, the guy father said that, oh, maybe they should keep the story quiet and he's going to marry her. And because if anybody found out, like, the little girl is going, like, the man is going to go to jail and she won't have any more person to, like, take care of them, or the first child, the other girl, won't forgive her for sending her father to prison or whatever. The girl that she actually has with this man will not forgive her for sending her father to prison. So all type of BS that I'm not buying. So anyway, God knows that if it happened to me, somebody is going to jail, and that is not going to be the person that perpetrated it. That's probably going to be me. So, I will put myself out of this. But man, when I hear that story, anyway. So, the man is asking for forgiveness or whatever, but so they took the little girl in question and took her to the hospital. Turns out she got herpes and chlamydia. I don't know if that's the same thing. Yeah, they said something like herpes and chlamydia. Yeah, herpes and chlamydia. And that means the husband probably has it, and that means that this lady in question needs to go check herself too, because if he's sleeping with your daughter and sleeping with you, you probably got it too. And that being said, they questioned the little girl and asked her, like, how long has it been going on? And the little girl is saying that she's in love with her daddy, like she's in love with the man, like the daddy, and that for Valentine's Day she offered him a candy, like a hard candy. This is a 14-year-old child we're talking about, right? And when I heard the story, it made me sick. I was like, how is this even possible? Like, because I was like, maybe this is made up. It's not made up. It's actually a true story. I was like, what? Man, that man is lucky to be alive, because oh man, oh my God. I'm not against violence, but hey, there are exceptions to every rule. This is one of those times, man. Because I know as soon as we were talking about it with the elders, the first elder that we asked a question to, he said, in Africa, which is true, we are against killing. We are against killing, especially when, tradition is being involved. We are against killing, but we have a crazy way of punishing people. They said that the first thing that we should have done with him is castration right away. Like, he would never have to use, his private to do anything else again ever in life. So they said the first thing is castration before anything, before we even sit down to discuss, like, what do we do? Like, once it's proven, like, he's like, no, it's castration. Like, we are not going to even waste time of it. Like, we do castration and send you in the army, because you'll be a good soldier. We still will use you. You'll still be a servant to the society and pay your debt and leave just because, we are not allowed to, we can't take a life. In Africa, even though you see killing going on around Africa or during war or whatever, like, we are at core, traditionally, we are against killing, or against taking the life of another human being. So, number one was castration, number two was jail, right? Those are the two answers that the family proposed. Now, the other elder decided to dissect the story a little bit closer. And he said this, which I also thought it was interesting. He said, when the woman or the lady in question find her husband in a room with her daughter, having sex with her daughter, how is it possible for her to keep calm, shut down the door, and wait till the morning to bring the family over? Like, there were no, like, stake in the house, anything to beat the crap out of him with. Like, cause me too, I don't understand. A woman shouldn't stake. Oh man, I'm putting organs. They say don't use organs, man. Don't put organs in the story. So it's putting organs, that means is a way of saying that we're getting sentimental here, But anyway, so how is it even possible that she didn't do anything? Like, I mean, any normal woman would have been like, what? She would have yelled. She would have screamed. She was like, oh my God. Like, the reaction that she gave. I know you cannot tell people how to react when they find certain situations, because the way I might react when I see a lion coming forward to me is different from the way somebody else might react, right? Somebody else might think, oh man, I gotta run. If you think you can run faster than a lion, or somebody might stand his ground and be like, no man, like, I'm not moving. Maybe by standing my ground, the lion will actually get scared. But this is a different situation though. Like, this is a situation where your daughter, like, she's 14. She doesn't know. Like, how can a little girl at 14 years old say that she's in love with her stepfather? Like, that is not even possible. To a point where she offered him a small hard candy. And this man is out here, like, sleeping. Like, apparently, it wasn't the first time they had slept all over the house whenever the mom is not there. Like, man, like, this is so sensitive to me. It's just something that I can't, like, I don't know. I can't fathom in my head, like, how did this even happen? Like, how is he even still alive? Like, oh my God. I mean, I know we against like killing anybody, but man, like this man is making hard. Like you see, that ladies, when you have a child, before you bring any man around your kid, make sure that this man is at least, I don't know, has good faith or is the right person or is not somebody with, I don't know, malicious intent or I don't know. Like, please do some investigation on your partner before you decide to bring them around your kid. You can't just bring anybody around your kid like that because you don't know. There are some people out here like, I don't know, child molester or whatever, like pedophile or whatever you want to call them. Like, to me, it's like out of question, man. Like, a man shouldn't, like, this little girl future is ruined forever, right? Cause they still, they even, oh, you might take her to a psychiatric or whatever, try to, I don't know, clean her brain and try to make her see the right way of doing things, but at the same time, her life was destroyed. She's only 14, man. Like, come on now. Like, how is this even possible? And for me, I put the blame on both parents. I just don't put the blame on, on the men. Obviously he's taking the biggest part of the blame, but there are certain way a mother must do things when you bring in your daughter for the first time around a new man, right? Like, they are way of checking. Like, for example, right? Every time you go into the market, don't leave your daughter at home with this man. Like, usually, based on what, the elder was saying, is like, they usually will advise you, like, hey, they find an excuse. Leave your daughter to the neighbor and be like, hey, I know that my husband is going to be at work or whatever, he's going to be busy, and I know that the neighbor can take care of the child by, feeding the child, giving him food or whatever, so I'm going to just leave him there for a second. I mean, of course, you will also say you don't know who your neighbor is, so it's like, then in that case, we don't know where we will leave the child. In that case, the baby is all, I mean, not the baby, but to me, I still consider a 14-year-old a baby, right? So, the child is not secure, it's not safe, wherever you live in, but like, there are way of, maybe go to the store with the child, right? Don't leave the man at home alone. And number two, where were you, right? If you staying with a man, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. If you're staying with a man, he's not asking for, I don't know, for sex or whatever, and you have a little girl at home, this man, you guys haven't slept, like, man, ask yourself some questions. Number one, either he's going through some type of depression or whatever. I don't know. That, yeah, is understandable. Or number two, he's getting it from somewhere else. If he's not getting outside, you better start questioning your little girl at home, because I don't know, man, I don't know how to even put myself in this type of situation. To me, I know that, oh man, the things, like, man, I don't want to say it here, but the things that you would do to that man when you find that out, like, this for me is something that I cannot even understand. This is a little girl, man. You're destroying her future. You destroying also her probability of being able to having her own kids in the future whenever she wants to have kids. Because children at this age are just so, I don't know, like, vulnerable, right? Like, you giving at 14 years old, you gave her like all these type of disease or whatever, and then on top of it, like, what about her future? How is that even possible? Where was the mother? Like, you telling me you didn't notice anything going on at home? Like, you staying with, that means, like, either, I don't know, like, what were you doing? Like, cause you have to notice something. You have to notice a change of behavior or something that will let you know, like, something here is going on or something here is not right. So, to me, and the fact that even though, let's say you didn't even know, but your behavior once you discover this and the way you reacted kind of, I find it suspicious, because to me it's like, you keep calm and you go sleep and you still leave those two people in the room. Like, so you pretty much letting the man know, like, you should finish what you started while I'm sleeping over. It's like, no. Like, to me, she was wrong for doing that, right? You have to be careful whenever you bring your daughter, especially, your daughter was staying with your grandmother. You don't know. And then now, and people were like, "Oh, she should beat the kid for like a hack," and she said for because the kid said that the kid is in love with the father, and the mother should like beat her for saying such thing. I'm like, why would you beat the kid? Like, like, first of all, the kid was living with a grandmother, and now she's living with you. Like, if you beat the kid, that means you're giving no option or nobody for this kid to turn, nobody for this kid to turn to, right? She cannot turn to the man because he's out here pretty much, I call that rape. He's out here raping her, and she cannot turn to you because if she come and tell you, then you will be the same person beating her. So it's like you're putting the kid in an awkward situation where they have nothing to do but close themselves upon, like, close on themselves. Like, I don't get it. They have to shut down, and that is not right. So I think that the mother should have been more cautious. I know we always say that whenever an event, we do using what we call anachronistic information, but picture that new word in your vocabulary too, anachronistic. Hey, man, reading is paying out. But anyway, we gotta be more careful, man. You gotta be more careful when you bring somebody new in your life and you already have kids from previous relationships. That can cause you more harm than good. So make sure that the person you bring around your kid are the right person or is a good person, right? So that I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know how you handle this type of situation. To me, that this, like, at least let's say I'm not going to give what I would do. I would have done, but let's say that I would just go ahead and leave it as how can I say it? Castration. I'm fine with castration and having to send him in the army or whatever. And we have a way of rebuking people to where they will never be buried in a village or be buried in their ancestral line. And I don't know if people know what that means. Like, could you imagine you are not being buried with, like, you will be treated as an outsider for like ever, right? And trust me, we live in a community society. When you are there and nobody's talking to you, like, you will see the difference. You will not want to stay there. So that was for me a interesting story that I found. I don't know if it's interesting, but it kind of showed me that man, we gotta be careful. Like, you never know. Like, right now, society is so bad to where you don't even know who to trust, right? They were in a relation for like 4 years and they have a child together. So you have nothing telling you that if you stay with this man or whatever, because she's asking what she should do. Like, what is there even a way of thinking here? Like, do you even have to think about what you gotta do? Like, either jail, castration, and leave him, right? Like, to me, there's no other options here. Like, I don't know. And they asked her if she still love him, and she said she doesn't know. What do you mean you don't know? But anyway, hey, oh man, Lord have mercy. Anyway, for that, we're gonna go to the quote of the day, man.
Yo, boss, where is the commercial?
We ain't got none. We got to work harder. Oh yeah, as usual, you already know we don't have any commercial, right? And because we don't have any commercial, like I said, let's go to the quote of the day. And today the quote of the day is mostly to parent out there. So the quote of the day also is a Sudanese proverb, right? And it goes as follows. We desire to bequeath two things to our children. The first one is root, the other one is wings. We desire to bequeath two things to our children. The first one is roots, the other one is wings. And that being said, you already know what it is, man. I chose that quote from Sudan. It's a Sudanese proverb. Yeah, I thought it was going a little bit more with the story of the day that we had regarding these. Like, we always want to leave to our children something. And the first one, like they say, is like root, and the second one is wings. The opportunity for them to fly, right? And be somebody, become somebody, be successful. That's what every parent wants. And, yeah, that was the quote of the day. That being said, don't forget to check us out on, I don't know, podcast, any podcast platform. Even if you're on iHeartRadio, you might be able to see my podcast. iTunes, you will definitely see it there. Google Podcasts, I'm on it. Spreaker, I'm on it. I'm on the YouTube. Obviously, we haven't made the podcast live yet as far as videos are concerned, but we are on YouTube as well. So please feel free to check out my podcast, leave some comment, and we will talk about it. I'll always answer every single comment that I get. So don't forget to follow me also on IG, BSteph77, man. BSteph, B is B-E, A-S-T, Steph, S-T-E-P-H 77, on IG. And that being said, I'm always giving shout out to people. Like I said, if you have a business and you're newly starting or whatever, give the name and we will shout it out here, man. It doesn't hurt. It's free anyway. So you must take advantage of it. And shout out to Next Day Property Group down there in Dallas, Texas. They buy and sell real estate. So if you have any property you wish to sell, call them, man. Call them and they will take good care of you. I believe, one of their number is like, it's in Texas, man. So, and they are based out there in the Plano area. So, all you got to do is give them a quick call, and they will take good care of you. The quick call is 469-698-3370. 469-698-3370. Right? And they will take care of you. And that being said, man, that was it for me, man. Shout out to anybody that listened to the podcast, and please, follow us and leave some comment. We want to hear you. We want to create this as a movement, man, where we can have a conversation regarding culture, ethnicity, anything, I'm there, right? That being said, God bless, and as usual, peace.